Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Full Force Newsburst Live. We're brought to you by GeneralsJoesReborn.com with me, Christopher McLeod, AKA Diagnostic 80. Happy Monday. Not the band, happy Mondays. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. We have a little sliver of news that's kind of fairly recently kind of popped up. We are talking leaked parts, leaky parts, gross. Maybe we might, considering I do tend to go on about my, things happening outside of G.I. Joe sometimes, like dental work and what have you. And now I'm going to be talking about leaky parts, not personal, as in, Nemesis Immortal. Bits and pieces of Nemesis Immortal are sneaking out. So I thought I would have a look at them with you guys, and also, kind of go back on what we know about Nemesis Immortal and what to expect, basically. Anyway, cheers. Let's get in. That's just water, don't worry. Let's get into it with a bit of Nemesis Immortal. I'm stalling. Yes, I hope everyone is doing well in the chat as well. Quite a few of you have jumped on. So hello, Josh. Hello, Chris. Hello, Alfredo. Hello, Philly. Hello, A Punk with Toys. Hello, Past. Hello, Jedi. Dan. Hello, Philly Jones. Hello, Josh. Again. Hello, Derek. Hello, Chris G. Right, again. Leaking parts for Nemesis, new kind of blast effect. Gross. Well, it is Cobra La. You kind of expect that, don't you? Hello, Slave. How you doing? And what we're saying, cool. Everyone good? Brilliant. Yes, Yojo June, the month of leaks. Although I feel like every month is a month of leaks. It's just a constant leaky brand, dripping. Ugh. Anywho, yes. So we've got some images to have a look at, but first of all, let's get some sort of not background, but let's get some context. Let's talk about initially a little bit. Let's talk Classified Nemesis Immortal. Already done this one, but let's kind of go into a little bit more information that we are aware of now. That image on screen I utilized for a particular reason, and that is because very recently on the Comics Pals YouTube channel, Joshua Williamson, who is obviously on the Cobra Commander story, he's on the Cobra Commander miniseries, and did a phenomenal job with this. I have to say, Cobra Commander was a great Energon Universe miniseries, but he happened to sneak out a bit of info. The video you can catch on the Comics Pals channel around, I think it's about 18 minutes and 10 seconds, if my memory serves. Joshua kind of goes into the design of Nemesis Immortal, in which he states that the design they used in the comic is based on the classified figure that Hasbro gave them access to check out in order to create the character in the comic. So we're effectively looking at what the figure will look like, more or less, in the pages of the Cobra Commander series. And that really fills me with a lot of joy, because not only was I really just absolutely enthralled by this comic miniseries, but also the artwork was phenomenal. This spread, like kind of, I think kind of one of the penultimate scenes in like one like 3 or 4, I think it might be in issue 4. No, I think it was issue 3, or I can't remember. But anyway, this scene where he just tears off the human sort of like facade is just out as well. But the design on the figure, the design on the character really did take my breath away, I have to admit. I think he looked great. I love the wings. I love how they look. So I'm very excited to see what they might look like. You never know, there might be more leaked images as we speak. But these, I should also say, well, when we get to them, I'll obviously start shouting out people. But just as a heads up, they're from Weibo, and it's courtesy of Darren Marshall, Airborne's Customs. So thank you, Darren, for sending these my way. They were already out all over the place by the time I got hold of them. That always seems to be the case. I mean, Full Force are literally just behind the curve. We're just behind where all the good stuff is happening. And we're just kind of like, talking about it afterwards. But people seem to enjoy it, so let's move on. Chairs. That's cheers in the Norwich or the Norfolk accent. Um, yes. RKW says, Chris, it's midnight. Get to the good stuff. Sorry. My bad. Yes, Ionic Blood 666. A certain vehicle is in that comic as well. I hope Nemesis Immortal comes with a soft goods tear away human skin. Me too now, Joey. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. There's the context of the design aspect. So that's something that I wasn't aware of, obviously, and before I did Let's Talk Classified Nemesis Immortal. But it goes to, it's pretty obvious when you think about it at this stage now. It's like, yeah, maybe they would have been utilizing a classified design, which I imagine wouldn't stray too far from designs we've had in the past anyway. But yeah, let's continue now. He's not coming out of a grave, WJ. No, he is tearing out of like a flesh suit, basically. Very much like in Men in Black, Edgar in Men in Black. Sugar water. Anyway, yeah, there you go. So these are the images, like I said, courtesy of Darren Marshall, who sent them. He found them on Weibo, basically, and we get to see a couple of really interesting things. So one of those things is something that I think we kind of expected to a degree, and that's his wibbly sort of creature backpack sort of thing with the tentacles, his tentacle backpack. Now, in the original figure, which we'll look at a little bit later on, but on the original release, the 3-pack of the Cobra La, Globulus, Nemesis Enforcer at the time, and the Royal Guards, Nemesis came with that kind of creature thing, right? And I think a lot of people thought it was a alternative backpack sort of thing for him. And I don't believe that's really what it was supposed to be for. And one of the running theories that I think actually Pat mentioned when we were talking about this is that he feels like this backpack was or this kind of creature thing was almost meant for GI Joe figures. So you'd put them on their back, on the backpack port, and then wrap the tentacles around them as like their core kind of thing. And he was thinking, I wonder maybe they might have been like supposed to have been like movable, like in kind of like wireframe sort of thing, or like kind of pliable, so you could move the arms around them and kind of capture them sort of thing. And I kind of tend to agree that might have been the case as to where they wanted to go with it. But yeah, effectively, it just kind of sticks on their back and looks like a pair of tentacle wings. But yeah, I think it's definitely something to wrap around a GI Joe rather than be Nemesis Immortals or Enforcers alternate backpack. Take your wings off, Nemesis, and put these on instead. I don't think that's how his wings work, actually. But in any case, that's just a by the by sort of comment. But I think because it came with the original figure to some degree, I think it makes sense for them to do it again. Now, so that's really cool aspects of it. We also get loads of other parts in this image as well. Obviously, we've seen the heads before, but we've got those again close up to have a look at again in a little while. We have this almost like what would you call it? Kind of like torso, lower torso, like the kind of abs kind of part of the torso, basically. The lower torso. We've got the waist, we've got thighs, and we've got I'm guessing connectors for the waist to the legs, possibly, or are they something else? I don't know what they are. But then, of course, you've got legs, and you've got there's other little disc elements as well, which I'm thinking, are they kind of like internal for the butterfly joints in the arms, or are they possibly wing connectors or something on the back? I don't know. What do you think they are? Because I'm not actually sure what they are. I don't think I've ever seen those parts before in other figures. I mean, I'm sure I have. I just haven't seen them like in this kind of scenario. Butterfly joint, yeah, that's what I kind of assumed in that one. But thank you for there you go. Connectors for butterfly joints. I was correct. That's good. I feel vindicated. Thank you, guys. Butterfly joints. Yeah, everyone is saying it, so that's good. Thank you. So we have got butterfly joints connectors in there. That's great. Anyway, yeah. WJ makes a good point there. Not only mentioning Pythona's name, but also the suffocation tentacle grenades from the '87 movie. Now, you see, I think we're in for a treat when it comes to some of the other Cobra figures in this. Now, we haven't seen all of the parts and accessories for this figure, so he may come with even more cool stuff, right? He's going to come with wings, though, alternate head, this little weird dealy. I don't know if he's going to come with a great deal more, just because he'll probably be in that deluxe price point, which is what, $34.99. That's what I'm expecting, because his listing is just a standard deluxe listing, right? That said, it could be one of those things where they've had to do extra. They've had to throw in something else because, again, unique parts. Lots of unique parts are going to be going on this figure. So I think, and again, parts that we probably haven't seen yet either. So I think we're going to see a little bit more on this one. But then when it comes to, like, your Pythonas, your Royal Guards, your Globuli, I'd love to see them go absolutely full force on, you know, adding tons and tons of different Cobra related, like biological kind of things, like the squidgy face hugger, the four-headed tentacle snake electricity biting thing, although you could probably get away with this being something quite similar to that. Then there's the pufferfish grenades, there's the clamshell tapeworm, there's the that wraps all of its victims in, like, mummifies them basically. You've got the what else have you got? You've got the clamshell BET, sticky clamshell. you know BET thing inside. There's lots of different kind of things that happen in that film that you could go, okay, yeah, let's throw that in there. So there's, there may be more to come, but I don't actually know. See, I didn't necessarily know we were going to get the that thing. We'll get to it in a second. Now, heads. Obviously, we've seen these close up already, but I thought it'd be worth kind of refreshing the memory, seeing them close up again. This is the alternate head, I imagine. With the kind of like the bone structure, kind of almost very Klingon-like. And of course, we've got the more standardized, almost like kind of snake skin kind of headgear, although it's quite smooth on the other versions of the character. Kind of looks like a skull cap, doesn't it? It goes over the nose. And I know we joked about this last time, but it does feel like it's almost his skin. Like that's what he looks like, that's grown on him. But at the same time, it also does look like a bodysuit. So it probably is. So anyway, there's your kind of standard head sculpt, which I think is going to be the default one for mine. But again, it'd be nice to see the new one with the figure and see how it kind of works with all the other different parts and pieces and what have you. So that's pretty cool. Now, here's a close-up of that kind of tentacle monster. And as you can see, it's got those little kind of like holes in it that insinuate it's going to be one of the kind of bendy sort of jobs. Do you know what I mean? Like I've had things like this in the past where they've had those little 3-hole punch kind of things in them to allow, I guess, the flex to kind of not damage the plastic. So, or the whatever it would be, the material that they're using. But yeah, it does look like it might be a bendy wire job, which is great actually. Yeah, so yeah, that's something that I'm like interesting, because I think, because I've got a few kind of things like that. I've got a phone holder that reminds me of this. Yeah, but it does look like bendy wire, doesn't it? Absolutely. So I think I'm going to call them bendy wiggles. Okay, pass. Awesome. So yeah, these are going to be kind of flexible, but it looks obvious, doesn't it? Because obviously you've got certain tentacles in different positions. It doesn't look like a natural kind of choice to go with that pattern. So it looks like it's been moved and bent and all that kind of stuff. So that's really cool. And if we look at the other image, it's actually the same, isn't it? Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was the same kind of layout sort of scenario. Maybe when they reveal the promo shots for Nemesis, also we get a tease of Royal Guards, the same way they do with the Steel Corps on the Iron Grenadier shots. That's a good point, actually, Mr. Popinski. Yeah, like on the kind of back of the render sort of situation. Yeah, definitely. Or like, yeah, in the promotional shots where they're in, like, yeah, like we had the Steel Corps commanders very recently. Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, so that's, and as you can see, there is a backpack port on there. So I'm expecting this to be used on G.I. Joe figures in promo shots, is what I'm getting at on this one. But yeah, very, very awesome. It's a little kind of like, tentacle attack sort of thing for the Joes. And it's almost like not yeah, I suppose like correcting that kind of early vintage kind of like idea, or like bringing it to fruition, bringing it to completion. Anyway, yeah, if this doesn't make you want a globulus, I don't know what will. But then again, I want a globulus anyway, and I know loads of people don't. So I get it. We're all different in our tastes. I understand. Yeah, so that is effectively all we've seen so far. We've also obviously the legs are in there too, which again we get like a bit kind of nicer, closer look at really. um and kind of like, again, you can see all the kind of details, like the spikiness on the thighs. That's a nice touch. The kind of ridge sort of like aspect on the calves as well, almost like armor. It's really, really nice. I think when this is decoed up, I'm going to be very excited. Hello, Airborne's Customs. Damn, I'm late. Don't worry. I mean, you're the one that sent me these in the first place, so thank you. Passes, what if it doesn't come with both heads and instead we get a classified and a retro? I mean, maybe, but given the information we have on it, it's quite clear to me that we're seeing everything at once. Pass. I mean, look at the Night Creeper. Everyone thought that was going to be is it going to be a Night Creeper in a version 2 Night Creeper? No, it's going to be a Night Creeper with 2 heads. So I would be very surprised seeing this, that they're doing that version of it rather than just doing a deluxe, because it is a deluxe. We know it's a deluxe, so it's probably going to come with both heads at once. But having said that, that would be pretty cool. Although the vintage card kind of aspect would be kind of weird, because again, the wings, I mean, where the hell do you put those in a vintage card? Because they've got to be massive, haven't they? I just don't think it works as a retro figure. In all honesty, I think all the, when you think about all of the factors, you think about the precedent, you think about the way that they do things, you think about the practicality, the logistics. It just makes sense that this is what we're seeing for a deluxe offering, basically. But I'll let you have that one, and we'll see, won't we? I guess at the end of the day, I just don't know how it would work on it. The card would have to be oversized, I think. It'd have to be a 3-pack, wouldn't it? Because you'd have to have Globulus on it. You'd have to have a royal card on it. Behind the figure, yeah, I guess. But I mean, you don't have much space, and I think it's going to be massive, honestly. Yeah, you'd have to. But then again, it would be a really fun way of revealing the fact they're doing a 3-pack with Globulus, the Royal Guard, and Nemesis Immortal on a retro card, which would be about 10 feet tall. And I'd be all over it. Yeah, VHS style box is where I'm at when it comes to doing anything cartoon movie retro. I think it'd just be great. The wings better be at least the size of Venom's wings from the Venom and Null 2-pack. They're probably going to be in and around that size, aren't they? But yeah, a VHS movie box would make sense, because it would be, you could definitely, probably just have them like, I don't know, folded up if they're articulated, I don't know, or like just in the back, in behind the figure sort of thing, but you're not really seeing it, so it's totally cool. No bat wings yet, but I'm sure they're coming. He's his own builder figure, like Mr. Potato Head, says Viper Scout. Yeah. Anyway, that's all the images we have for that. I just wanted to also throw this in here. So here's Pythona's version of said bendy, squiggly, cobra, I don't know what you call it, bendy tentacle thingy. Now again, that was, I don't think that was a bendy one. I believe that was sort of sculpted into that shape to kind of make it all like, kind of look a bit cool and weird. I don't think they were bendy. I really can't remember, but I don't think they were. I do love that Pythona figure though. It's freaking phenomenal. And I can't wait for them to do Pythona in the classified era. I will also say that yes, that they've done this multiple times. This has been done with the original figure. It's been done with the modern 4-inch figure, and it's been done with Pythona. So we have seen this squiggly, bendly, like tentacle monster multiple times. I'm only putting it side by side here to see a nice comparison of images between the one that we're getting with Classified and the one that we had very like the most recent memory sort of thing. And just to kind of, kind of cover all bases, here is the Nemesis Immortal or Enforcer that we got in the Cobra La Team 3-pack. And you can see the kind of tentacles behind him in his packaging as well. Yeah, so figure 6-pack, we were just talking about this earlier. Our theory was that it was supposed to be a backpack kind of piece that went on a G.I. Joe figure and then would wrap round the figure to make them like, cope, like, yeah, like trapped by, tentacles. But we feel like they decided against doing them as bendy kind of tentacles that you could hold in place. And so because of that change, it looked more like an alternate thing for Nemesis Enforcer to wear on his back, which didn't make any sense really. But because of the backpack port, it sort of, did that. So anyway, that's what we talked about that earlier. But yes, that's definitely what we did mention that. Those wings were perfect, says Ryan Daly. No need to upscale them for Classified. Could you imagine? I'll keep my fingers crossed for an insecticycle with a troop builder. Pass. That would be so dope. I love that presentation art for the insecticycle. So cool. It was supposed to come with the nullifier, right? That they then turned into Destro's troop. But yeah, wasn't that? I'm pretty sure that nullifier was supposed to be a. I mean, do nullifier and just make nullifier a Cobra La denizen. Finally, again, correct that weird mistake from the past. I'd like to put those tentacles around Once a Man Cobra Commander, says Derek. Isn't it cool that we get? I feel like with Once a Man Cobra Commander, Nemesis Immortal, I feel like Pythona Globulus Royal Guard, I feel like they aren't too far away. I feel like they're not too far away from joining the crew, and that makes me very excited. I'm not going to lie. Nullify and set. Yeah, I thought so. Thank you, Airborne's Customs, aka Darren. Right, anything else to talk about? Yes, these are just when I did the Let's Talk Classified Nemesis and Immortal, I utilized these images as just different versions of Deco use and all sorts of stuff, things like that. So you've got the animated movie, which is very clearly, quite basic in its sort of Deco, but again, iconic. Then you get the figure and the figure art both like at odds with each other. The figure trying to get closer to the Deco for the cartoon and for the movie, but the card art just going, let's throw some green in there. I think maybe the art was done prior to them knowing exactly what Nemesis Enforcer was going to look like. But it's cool. These things happen. Part and parcel of the amazing process of toy making, which is, absolutely rife with these sort of like not errors. Yeah, I suppose, fun little variances. I'll just say variations. I hope these wings articulate like Angel. So do I, actually. Whip snakes, maybe. Whip snakes, Rachel, is still a possibility in my mind that it could be Royal Guards, but I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. We'll see, won't we? When Lifeline leaks, I don't know, Stygian, but Lifeline is so necessary right now. It's like he's probably up there. We need to do a list, I think, of the kind of top level characters that still need to be done. Anyway. I just realized how much of a fusion of Archangel and Magneto Nemesis is, and now I can't unsee it. That's a really good point. In terms of the design of Nemesis Enforcer Immortal, there is definitely Magneto mixed with Archangel vibes. That is really good. That's a really good spot, honestly. I don't think it's obvious until he pointed it out. Then, like the helmet, obviously Magneto's helmet design, very, very similar. The color, very similar. The wings, obviously Archangel. You've got a point there. Did I see the ferret got moved up to June 18th? I didn't, Earl, but that's awesome. Thank you though for the heads up on that, Earl. Really appreciate that. Um, Immortal Enforcer. Yeah, that's gonna have to call him from now on. Hello, Dragon Reborn. How you doing? Ambush needs to be on the top tier list. Oh yes, please. Thank you very much. I think whip snakes are gold head steel core. That's a really. I think I changed my mind on that too, Pack. Honestly, Jeremy, when we saw them in the images, I kind of I thought actually that's probably going to be what that is, isn't it? Because it just feels too obvious, doesn't it? Um, Ryan says, "Isn't it likely that whip snakes and/or Fred are repaints of some kind? Considering we still don't know what they are." Yes and yes, Ryan. I mean, that's very, very likely. It's possible that Fred could be once a man Cobra Commander because it could use some parts of Cobra Commander that we already have. You know what I'm saying? Um, so absolutely, that's again another good reason why we don't know what it is, or we don't have the information for it. But in terms of whip snakes, yeah, I mean, the steel core would be a perfect, steel core commander would be a perfect thing to slot in there, definitely. Um, Top level characters should include the original 13. I agree, Hydrus. Yeah, like Colonel Hawk, Grand Slam, Short Fuse, Zap, um, Flash. I think you can definitely kind of put those in a sort of like holding pattern for need to get done to complete some OG13 situation. After Footloose, there will be one more from 85 to complete the single carded figures or Airtight. Oh yes, Airtight, Lifeline. For me, those two are huge. Hydro Viper for me. Um, Sneak Peek. That's a good shout, Danny. Night Creeper Leader. I'm there for you. Stealer. Yes, there's another one, Jeremy. Totally. Earl says, "Can we just take a moment, and I will do this, to realize how awesome of a time this is with the classified line and the great comic books and the compendium?" What I'm agreed. What a time to be a Joe fan. Like literally all kind of tastes are being catered for in the action figures with the classified series. But then on top of that, you've got alternate options if you're not into classified, where you can pick and choose for one. But you've also got Higher Toys doing 4 inch. You've got 30 doing 12 inch. You've got Mezco doing 6 inch alternate kind of high end soft goods and all that kind of stuff as well. I mean, it's quite impressive. All of these different. It's. I mean, the Kickstarter compendium Kickstarter is just forget about it. Like, what has gone on there? I still don't understand fully what is going on. I feel like that's never going to sink in, or not for a while. But I don't know. I'm just absolutely blown away. They're so close to 2 mil. They've they're way past 5,500 backers. Still 15 days to go, and they're at 190. Sorry, 1,969,181 bucks. I'd say they've just about covered the initial pledge goal of 50 grand. Like it is unreal, and I don't know. I'm kind of in a little bit of a weird little haze at the moment. There's so much going on in my regular in my like my life. All sorts of things, ups and downs, right? All sorts of things all over the place. Working hard all over the place, right? Doing lots of stuff with this channel, but still nowhere near as much stuff as I want to do. Like I want to be doing like daily video, right? This is my aim for this channel is to do daily videos, is to get obviously like, more the crew involved more, like our kind of like team way more involved in terms of like doing regular sort of like proper kind of sit down podcast style episodes where we really talk and delve into stuff and we really kind of expand the channel like that. I want to do that with it. Obviously it's hard because of kind of availability and everyone's lives being like so busy, and that's great, like it, this is what it is. But I want to do more with the channel. I want to expand. I want to do more episodes. I want to do more kind of like you know different videos here and there on different platforms, really spread it and do some different cool things and just enjoy it. I want to do like merchandise as well. I want to kind of do fun t-shirts and hats and cool stuff like that. Just again, not like print loads of stuff and like, oh, sell, 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 but just give people the opportunity, the option to just go out and buy a Full Force tee or something. I think it'd be kind of fun. And we want to do all this kind of stuff. Discord's another one, Carl, absolutely. I definitely want it. The fact we've got like computer games coming, we've got, you know, movies around the corner. I want to spread this thing out. I really want to do some like really big stuff. I want to do big stuff with the Patreon as well. You know, like at the moment it's kind of like weekly videos, but I want to do more stuff with the Patreon. I want to do memberships on YouTube, but that would entail doing extra content as well for YouTube. So there's loads and loads of stuff I want to do with the channel. I still feel like we're Full Force boxers, absolutely, or just like proper Speedo style pants, Y fronts, Full Force Y fronts, the brown and cream style from like the 70s and 80s. No, I want to do lots of cool stuff with the channel, and you know, obviously, and like I said, I want to be doing daily videos, constant. I just want to be absolutely getting to the point where I'm getting to the point where people are just like, just enough. Stop it. Stop talking about it. But the thing is, now is the time because we've got all of this stuff happening. Like I said, the movies, and whether you think the movies are good or not, we're still going to report on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still going to get excited, even if it's pants at the end of the day. I am going to report on it, and we are going to talk about it, and we are going to get excited, and then we are going to get disappointed together, and then we'll go through that process as we always do. We really want to like do lots of cool things and have lots of things for lots of people. So if you don't like long form videos where I yab on for hours and hours, then we'll have something else for you. This is what I don't want it to just be like, I just do lives every single time I can. It's great and I love doing it, but I want to expand this channel and make it even cooler. And that is the plan. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if we can grow this and we can grow it to the point where I can do that, then that's what we'll do. But as it is, it's just going to be me and occasionally Justin and occasionally Pat and occasionally Adam, and then occasionally interviews. But we'll get on it and we'll try and do more because it's not like I don't have a busy life. Anyway, that's pretty much it for that. We'll quickly talk what do we know about listings wise. Well, we do know, like I said, that Nemesis Immortal is Atlas Deluxe, and we are expecting that obviously to be the case. A deluxe figure, $34.99 price point, and based on the number, the G0335 number, it's probably going to come later in the year. But I don't know, who knows? We might see some sort of render reveal for it either this month or maybe during SDCC. I think SDCC could be a good place to kind of finally see Nemesis Immortal as a render. Tomorrow, of course, we've got the retro pre-orders are going up, aren't they? And depending on what else is done, we'll probably go live tomorrow as well. I don't know necessarily if we will. It might just be one of those things where it's not necessary. We already know all the information. We've already seen the figures. It's already really been done. It would just be the pre-orders gone up. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know how much you need me to go live on Tuesday night necessarily, or how much I feel like it's necessary. But we'll see. They might do some other reveals, and if they do, guess what? I'll be there Tuesday night going, wee. Anyway, that's. Maybe more renders are shown tomorrow, Derek. It's a possibility. I do hope they don't do a render reveal for Footloose because I'm still working on his Let's Talk Classified Footloose. What time tomorrow? Well, it was stated on the event, and I believe it's the usual. I think it's 1 p.m. Thank you, John. For the super chat. That's very kind of you. You do a great service. Thanks for everything. Well, I appreciate that, John, very much. And I'm glad you enjoy this ridiculous channel that is honestly one of the most tangent heavy channels on the on YouTube. And I do not apologize for it, even though I do apologize for it every single time. I don't apologize for it, really. It's a sorry, not sorry situation. You're going to hear about how I had fillings the other day because I grind my teeth. You're going to hear about that. Anyway, well, there's been no real leaks today, so I doubt we'll see anything other than the retros. Oh, yeah, possibly, but in terms of renders, you don't get render leaks, do you? So there's a possibility. But anyway, thank you, John. Really appreciate that, mate. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the episode and the rest of your Monday or whatever it may be right now. Um, the Rattler needs its own aero bat as an unlock, Chris. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Please pass along the suggestion to Lenny and the team. What's Stygian about the Aero Viper, or the Aero Bat? Sorry, Aero Viper, Aero Bat. I can, but it's a bit late now, isn't it? And I don't have any. Also, don't have any sway with that team whatsoever. They do their own thing, and then I hear about it later. Last year, they had Mutton Junkyard on display before a render. Wouldn't be surprised if they do the same with Nemesis or Road Pig. Totally agree with you, Ryan. SDCC is probably going to be the place for it, isn't it? We're going to see some new figures on show. Let's face it. We're going to see some render reveals, name only reveals. We're going to definitely see the HasLab. I'm very excited. I'm more excited genuinely for SDCC than I think I am for Yojo June. And yeah, and I genuinely think that is the case, even though I knew Storm Shadow version 2 was coming around the corner. No preview of Starduster. It's a difficult one. That I know they did show the Baroness and twins, didn't they? They did show those on at SDC, so possibly Starduster. It's a possibility. There's loads of stuff out there that we haven't seen yet, so yeah. They are free to show Road Pig now that Chris has done Let's Talk. Exactly, Scott. I like your thinking. You're thinking there. I do in general, because you do make the posts that are related to how I feel about these things a lot of the time. And it's like, don't do the reveal just yet. Let me get this video done. And they listened, even though I didn't ask them to. And they probably had no idea. How is there only 28 likes for this with 110 people in chat, Jody? It's because multiple people don't like it. That's why. As equal TF fan, I wouldn't mind the transforming bats drones that came as an exclusive way back. Agreed, Carl. Those, was it like the snake, old snake Cobra Commander, and those kind of almost like Sigma 6 bats that they kind of did the deco on the transforming drones were really cool, weren't they? Yes, I thought they were really, really cool. Female Rattler gunner like Hiss. Yes, Danny, I could see that. If we're talking Rattler tier situations. Out of shelf space, I hope you're joking. My girlfriend left me because I spent too much time with you. If that is true, I feel terrible. But also, yeah, if they're not willing to let you have me, Kitty said, then yeah, it's probably for the best. That's because San Diego Comic Con is the best time of year. It's like Christmas for nerds, which is also Christmas. Lone Dragon says 2026. I want the Mean Dog, not HasLab. 3 separate releases. I like that thinking. You get the Mean Dog and the Maggot releasing at the same time, but in different sections. You can build both of them at the same time. That'd be wicked. I can't wait to see updates for the HasLab, especially Crazy Legs and Ripcord. Same. Airborne Customs. Same. Figure 6-pack says Stardust equals Retro Duke with different paint apps. Pretty much, I'd imagine. Derek says female Rattler gunner with swappable Baroness head. That's not a bad shout, because I think a Baroness pilot would be a brilliant one to do. But also, yeah, that kind of would be a good way of doing kind of, 2 birds, 1 stone. That was not supposed to be like a misogynistic pun either. Let's saw Joe does similar to this style. Let's see how Joe does similar to this Star Wars HasLab and offers 2 decos for Rattler. Would you buy blue or gold Rattler, or even TF deco with Sky Striker? I don't think they're going to do that. I think it'll be the tried and trusted formula that they've been doing for the past couple of years. But if they offered 2 options, I don't even, the logistics of that sound awful. Because wouldn't they have to like fund two separate things effectively? Or is it just one fund and then they just make however many people? Because it would have to be quite, you'd have to, like, you could, I don't know. I don't even know how that works. The logistics are giving me a headache, Jeremy. Mean Dog would be rad. I'm still hoping for a maggot. Same. Most of us hate watch these streams. Thank you, Ryan. I do feel that actually, Ryan, from you specifically, that you're watching this with a hatred, a pure resentment towards me. We're going to meet in real life, and you're just going to punch me in the face, probably. Stygian says, just imagine, Chris, an aero bat that detaches from the Rattler and lands an aircraft and beats them to pieces or messes with them in the air. Totally. I like it. Give Chris a like now, please, says Airborne Customs. You see, I'm not doing my job properly. I should ask for them, but I always feel like I'm begging you. Give me some likes, please, and some subs. If you're not subbed to the YouTube channel, please get subbing. My aim before the end of the year with the subs is to hit 6,000. Now, I laugh at that actually a little bit because it took about 2 years to get from like 4.7 to 5 or whatever it was. It took a while to get to 5, and we finally broke 5k, and I was really happy. But yeah, I've got to have those like little like I guess aims and goals, and my goal is, again, by the end of the year to hit 6k, and I think we can do it. I think we can do it. It's got nothing to do with me, really. It's all about you guys. Anyway, I'm not going to be able to get to all of your comments, guys. My apologies. Anyway, it's been fun chatting with you all, though. Anyway, yeah, quickly run through these. So, leaked listings 2024, as I just said. This is what we know so far about Nemesis Immortal. He is Atlas Deluxe, and hopefully I think we'll probably see something from him in SDCC. That's what I'm expecting, like render, whatever, and maybe like we might even see some like we might see Road Pig and his animal companion. Nearly did a 9 Grenadier back then, which would have been terrible. I'm gonna hold fire on that. Compendiums are over 1970 now. Wow. Anyway, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah. So anyway, so I could see them maybe showing Road Pig and his animal companion off in SDCC, like on the floor. I could see them showing off some other stuff. I mean, there's loads of stuff, isn't really, that's on deck that we haven't seen anything about yet. If we move into 2025 as well, of course, we unlocked Footloose for you very recently, so that was fun. So maybe we'll see some sort of maybe we'll see some. You never know. We might see renders for some of these figures tomorrow. We might do. I'm not saying we will for sure, but we might do. Who knows? And they might just do random social drops. You know what they're like. They can do the occasional. Every now and again, they'll just be like, "Boom! Here's a social drop. Enjoy that." Take you out completely by surprise. I get 50 messages because I'm not paying attention. Anyway, Airborne's Custom says, "Aim higher. My daughter gained 9k in December 2023." That kills me, man. That absolutely kills me. She's obviously way more interesting than I am, Darren. But that's awesome. Well done to her. I mean, I would have bigger dreams if I could actually put everything into it, but I can't currently. That last figure for Wave 19 has to be a Joe, right? That last figure for Wave 19. Mr. Burns? At some point before I shuffle off this mortal call, I want a Dreadnought Bat. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Oh, Joey, you meant a Cobra. So Mr. Burns, yeah, I don't know. Who knows? They're never really on the nose, honestly. Well, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. I mean, I'd have put Mr. Burns as Blowtorch personally. Yeah, right. Let's see. Who I definitely would have put Blowtorch as Mr. Burns, right? For jokes. Who would I have had? I'm trying to think of who I would put. Like looking at the code words, Smithers. Who would be a good Smithers? Lifeline looks a little bit like Smithers, right? Chief Wiggum would be Wide Scope, or well, it would be Law and Order if I was doing it. But obviously not because it's a standard blooming retail release. There's so many fun things you could do here with these, like on the nose kind of like characters. Yes, all the waves have been two Joes. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Frag Viper, Blowtorch, Footloose, right? So Blowtorch and Footloose are the Joes. Frag Viper and somebody else are going to be the other. Yeah. So they're going to be absolutely. They're going to be. It's going to be a Cobra character. I'm just saying, like, if it was me doing it and not, Emily, who's obviously doing it, then I would be really on the nose with it, and people would just be like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know who it is. I know who it is because it's too obvious. Sewer urchin as Toxo Viper. Yeah, indeed. Philly, Chris, you're the best to do it. Oh, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. Very, very kind of you. I appreciate it. Sideshow Bob Candy Apple, indeed. Oh, she didn't do the code words for 2025, did she? Oh, yes, you're right. Someone else is doing that. I wonder if it's BMAC, seeing as he's on the team and he's also marketing. I wonder if it's BMAC. Could be, couldn't it? I'm gonna like just be like bombarding him with, and he'll be like, "Look, I can't say anything. Stop messaging me." Right. Anyway, that's 2025. Again, the rest of it, just pick a character and throw it in there, and you might be right. Now, name only reveals that we have currently are these. And of course, waiting for renders on all of these figures. So any of these, I think, could show up at SDCC, or maybe if you could slip out this month. Either way, I'd be up for it. I just don't want to see Footloose just yet because I've got to do his video first. All right. And then, of course, we have digital renders, which I've updated. So Dial Tone and Saw Viper have joined the digital renders that we're still waiting on. And that's pretty much that in terms of digital renders. There's a team for the code words. Emily was just special. Absolutely. Plot twist, it's Chris picking the code names. Again, if it was Joey, you'd instantly know everything throughout the entire, because I would be so obvious with it. It would be like their names in like with the letters like messed around, so it'd be obvious. It'd just take you 5 seconds to rearrange the letters. Anyway, yes, that's a good point. Actually, we've got what July. There's a Walmart Collecticon, so that should be Night Force, Falcon, and Heart Wrench. A very good point. Airborne's Customs. We've got Target Summer Geek Out coming very soon. I don't know if that's going to give us anything. I genuinely don't know if that's going to give us anything because the only listings we have for Target and Walmart are for like 2025. So I don't know. Anyway, that's Digi Renders. And then I didn't delete that I should have done. That's an accident. That's the old digital renders image. So I'm just going to go back. Right then. That's the kind of thing that happens if I was in charge, just making mistakes all the time, revealing things by accident. October should also have a Walmart Collecticon, though. Yes, they do. So maybe that'll be then. Maybe that'll be then. I don't know because we don't have the information for it. We just know we have the listings, and then whatever Walmart's going to have something, and they're going to reveal something this year, whether it's the soonish one or the October one is up for debate. It might be October so that they have the space with, Yojo June, SDCC, and then that period of time will probably fill out a bit more space. So I could imagine Night Force, Falcon, and Heart Wrencher going up then. As far as I know, Heart Wrencher isn't super official yet. No, Black Genghis, but we know what it is, and that's why we've unlocked it on the thing. So it leaked, and then we were like, okay, it's out now. So we updated the listing, and then it was like, it's not super official. I'm like, none of it's super official. It's all leaked information. So yeah, just to kind of back it up, yeah, that's the 2-pack. Right then, that's everything. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for tonight. Only a short, under an hour, 51-ish minutes for this one. But I just wanted to go live and talk about those Nemesis Immortal pieces and bits, the leaky parts. But yeah, I will be, well, I might be back tomorrow, depending on what gets revealed tomorrow. Other than that, it will be, I've got the folks are coming in on Wednesday. Excited for that. So it's going to be a busy day Wednesday. I doubt I'll be able to do any, like, depending on what happens news-wise, who knows? I mean, I'll try, but come on. I do have to be a good son at some point and actually like show up for my mum and dad, don't I? Really? They've flown, they're going to be flying all the way out here. I have to like be there. I've got to pick them up, obviously. But yeah, so we'll see. If there's any news, maybe. But, you know, other than that, give me a bloody break, all right? We'll just carry on for Thursday, all right? I will be back at some point this week, is what I'm saying. Probably before the weekly on Saturday. Have a great rest of your evening. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Bye. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Full Force. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @The Full Force Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.